MST ला तुमचं चालू कर. हिस्ट्री
मिरर काल 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 आपल्याला काहीतरी ते पण करत होतो आपण 3 डॉट्स वरती.
आता कॅमेरा चालू कर. काही गरज नाही बाकी करण्याची. स्पॉटलाइट आहेच.
हां असं आहे. ओके. Hello. So how are you all? We'll discuss what we studied yesterday once in a summary. Yes. So what are the 3 problems of the central problems of the economy? Right. How we will decide what to produce? Necessity, requirement of the economy, right? Second thing, how we will produce it? I am not getting answers from boys side anything, only the girls are answering. Please झाला का? हाँ इथे. ओके ओके हे मधनं जर ठीक आहे बघते. Hello. So boys, you attended the lecture yesterday? Okay. So you are not answering. So anyone out of you can tell me what are the 3 central problems of the economy? Anyone? Tell. For whom? How we will decide what to produce? Necessity, need of the economy or the society, right? How we will produce it? How we will decide which technique to use, labor intensive or capital intensive? Capital is cheap, we will use capital intensive. And the third one? How we will decide that? For which class to produce, that is rich, poor, middle class, right? So everyone clear on this topic? So next concept we will revise. So what is the equation of national income? You can tell. National income, right? Y is equal to C, that Y is the national income, C is the consumption, and I, that is the investment / savings, right? What is the PPC curve? Anyone can explain it? What is production possibility? No. Left to, not left to right. It slopes downward, not moves down, right. Left to right. And if the PPC curve shifts to right, what happens? Boys? You three, any one of you, if the PPC curve shifts right, what is the impact? Anyone can't remember? If the PPC curve shifts right, what we discussed yesterday, it leads to economic growth. Why? Why? How does this happen? Due to technological advancement. Like with the same resources, available resources, we will be increasing the production of goods and services. So with the same resources, if the production of goods is increasing, it is a national growth, right? So if the PPC curve, remember this is very important. If the PPC curve shifts right, it is a leading to national growth. Why? Because with the same amount of resources, the production of both the two goods. PPC curve is a combination of two goods, what we discussed yesterday, right? A and B. I saw A, if we produce, we have 10 resources. I will produce A 1 unit. Then B, I can produce 9 units. Everyone recalls it? Everyone is recalling, or I should repeat the concept? Yeah, so it is a combination between the two goods A and B, that is guns and butter, what we saw yesterday, right? In this in this example, they have given guns and butter. With the available resources, we will produce guns and butter, right? So if I produce 1 gun, I can produce 9 units of butter. If I produce 2 units of gun, 2 guns, I can produce 8 butter. So that is a combination between guns and butter. So it is a combination of both, right? Okay, so that is the PPC curve. PPC curve, what you said, shifts, moves downward from, not move, does not move right. It slopes downward from left to right. It can slope downward from this side also, right? So we are saying left to right. Got it? Yeah. Now the concept of gross investment and net investment. Anyone can tell me this concept? Here. What is gross investment, net investment? Very simple concept, guys. Net investment, anyone can tell me? Anyone? Should I explain it again? Both you can tell me, gross investment, net investment. We'll take one, boys will answer and one girls will answer. Anyone can answer gross investment, anyone can answer net investment. So boys, answer me, what is net investment?
Ma'am, your voice not clear.
Hello, am I audible? Hello? Hello? Is the voice clear now? Hello?
Hello,
Hello?
your voice not clear.
It is clear now, or isn't clear yet?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now it is clear. Okay. So what you were saying? What is net investment? You were saying something. And the depreciation on which we will be only the fixed investment, right? Not on the inventory investment, right? So gross investment, what we discussed yesterday, is a combination of both inventory and fixed investment, right? Inventory will be work in progress and finished goods, right? And what is fixed investment? Yes. Because once we make this investment, we need not, for a long term, we don't need to make again any investment in that, right? Once we make it, it is fixed, right? After 15, 20 years, we again need to make the investment if it is required, right? It's a long term investment. So we are saying it is a fixed investment, right? And what, just a minute. What does the market determine? There is a market we discussed yesterday, right? There are buyers, there are sellers. The buyer should have the desire to purchase. They should have the purchasing power, that is the money to purchase that goods, right? And they should be willing to purchase, right? What we discussed yesterday, everyone can recall market? there are buyers, there are sellers, right? And the buyer is willing to purchase the goods. The buyer also has the purchasing power, that is the money to purchase the goods, because only the desire to purchase cannot help. You should have that purchasing power, that money, income to purchase that good, right? So that is a market. What market determines? What will it determine? There's nothing on the board. The market will determine, like if there are more buyers, see, relate it logically. Tell. So what will the market will determine? The price of the goods. Also the quantity, how much they should be produced, supplied in the market, right? So the market will determine the price of the goods and the quantity of the goods to be produced. Try to relate it logically. See, suppose if we are in a market, there is more availability of the goods. I want to purchase this pen, right? And there are more number of sellers, but less number of buyers. Supply is more, demand is less, right? What will be the price of this pen? Yes. And in the other case scenario, if there are less sellers and more buyers, what this price of this pen will be? High. So the demand and supply in the market, or the market will help to determine the price of the goods or services, or the quantity of the goods or services that we will produce, right? What concept we were discussing yesterday more? Micro and macroeconomics. What is micro? Study of individual units in the economy, like an individual company, individual institution. We will make that is micro is the study of individual units, that is a single institution or single company, right? And what is macro? So the total of combining the aggregate of microeconomics, what it will become? Macro, right? Because if study of every individual, when we combine or aggregate these individuals, what it will form? It will form a macro. Anyone can give me an example of what is a example of macroeconomics? National income, total employment, total output, total consumption, right? Yes. And what is the difference between personal wealth and national wealth? Tell me. If an individual is the owner of that wealth, individual, if the nation holds that wealth, it is a national wealth, right? So yesterday we discussed, I have a bond of government. I took a government bond. So is it a national wealth or personal? Why? In turn, I will be getting that principal amount interest from the bond, right? I am benefiting, it is my wealth, right? And anyone can tell me the definition of economics, with what points? There are many definitions which are provided here, right? No, the one which they are saying is a complete definition. What it should include? No. I'll explain. Just see. There are scarce resources. Resources are scarce. Wants are unlimited, We utilize those scarce resources to fulfill our wants. Yesterday I gave you an example, right? You recall, I have pocket money given by my father. I only have that, that is a scarce resource. That is something which is limited, but your wants are unlimited. You want to buy everything that you wish, right? So how you will utilize that scarce resources, pocket money 5,000 given by your father to fulfill your expenses. Got it? So now we'll move on to the next topic. And one more example we were discussing yesterday, capital stock. Like, you remember I said that I am having shares of Hindustan Unilever. I purchased 1,000 shares of Hindustan Unilever for 10,000. Shares are a capital stock, right? If I transfer those shares to anyone else, does the shares, capital stock, shares are capital stock, does the capital stock or the share increase in amount? So there is no change in the capital stock. The capital stock or the share amount remains same, even though if I transfer those shares to anyone else. So Hindustan Unilever is not getting any, its capital stock is increasing, its shares are increasing. So does Hindustan Unilever's capital stock increase? Yesterday we discussed this example. Everyone can recall? Chalo. So now we'll move on to the theory of demand, supply and equilibrium. So what is demand? So if you want to buy a book, you wish to buy a book, but if you don't have the money to buy a book, is it a demand? So there is a difference between desire and demand. So demand, what it says is that it should have the purchasing power. And what brings into what you are saying? Okay. So purchasing power. Purchasing power, how it comes? Income. If you have the money, income, wealth, you can purchase it, right? If you don't have the income, you don't have money, you don't have any wealth to purchase it, will you be able to purchase it? No. So purchasing power, when it comes into picture, when you have that money, when you have that income, when you have that wealth, you can purchase it, right? So demand is desire purchasing power. How do we get this purchasing power? When we have our money, income or wealth, then only we have the purchasing power, right? So, and the difference between desire and demand, what you told me is that desire is just what? Demand includes desire plus purchasing power. So we'll discuss the concept, we'll read the concept. Demand means desire in common parlance, but in economics, demand means desire backed by willing purchasing power and willingness to purchase. So only purchasing power is it useful? We should have the willingness to purchase. Suppose I go at a shop, we'll discuss an example, this is important, demand. I go at a shop and I want to buy brinjals. Let it be. I want to buy brinjals. So if I have the money, do I have the purchasing power? If I don't have money, do I have the purchasing power? So if I have money, I can buy it. So is it a desire or demand? One more point is required. What it is? Willingness. I should not, I want, my willingness is to purchase brinjals. But if anyone asks me to purchase potatoes, do I have the willingness to purchase it? So demand is purchasing power plus willingness to purchase it. Purchasing power comes when we have the income, we have the money, or we have the wealth. Then only we can purchase, right? Determinants of demand. Everyone got the concept of demand? Hello, am I audible? So price of goods. Suppose there is a lot of demand for the goods, but the supply is less. Then what will be the price of the goods? Yes. And in the opposite case, if the demand is less and the supply is more for brinjals, what will happen? The price of the goods. So in turn, demand will determine what will be the price of the good. Whether the price of the good will be higher, lower. Even though you can take an example of your household, that is the oil that you use in your food to cook. Does it do any oil like sunflower oil or any oil, sunflower oil or any type of oil that we use in our cooking, does its price remain the same over a period of time? Most fluctuating price is the price of the oil. Because what happens, the demand and the supply, it changes. Anyone can go in a shop and ask, right, what is the price of any sunflower oil or any oil? It keeps on fluctuating every day, most of the days it keeps on fluctuating. So you can go home and experiment this. You can just go at a shopkeeper and ask him for, you can take a book, 7 days, you can go and ask what is the price of sunflower oil for today, tomorrow, and 7 days, and experiment it. The price keeps on fluctuating. Why? Because the demand and the supply cycle. Look, so the price of substitute goods. What are substitute goods? Yes. So, what did you say? That is, those are substitute goods. So, if I don't want, instead of a single good, I can use another good. There is a substitute for it, like tea or coffee. I can either buy tea, I can either prefer to buy tea or coffee. Yes, so those are substitute goods. What are more substitute goods? Examples you can give me? Yes. That is too an example of substitute goods. So what are the first determinants of demand? Price. So we'll see that price of the goods. The demand for any commodity firstly depends on its price. When the price rises, demand decreases, and when the price falls, demand increases. We discussed this. Yeah? Yes. So now we'll discuss the price of substitute goods. See, tea and coffee. So if we have tea, look at the board. So if the price for tea increases, what will the common person do? Common human behavior, what they will do is, instead of tea and coffee are substitutes. Instead of purchasing tea, what they will do? They will purchase coffee. So if the price of tea increases, more people will purchase more coffee. So the demand for tea will and the demand for coffee will, yes. Got it logically? Now we will read it in the book. Okay. Price of substitute goods. The demand for any commodity not only depends on its own price but also the price of substitute goods. For example, tea and coffee. Here the demand for tea depends upon the price of coffee. So now we discussed, if the price of coffee falls, the demand for coffee will rise following the law of demand. Since the coffee is a substitute for tea, people will reduce the consumption of tea and increase the consumption of coffee, as coffee is now relatively cheaper than tea. So when the price of coffee falls, the demand for tea will also fall. This is the essence for demand for commodity. So we discussed before, like with an example, if the price of the tea increases, a normal person with a normal economic behavior, what he will do is, he will go and purchase coffee. Demand for tea will decrease, demand for coffee will increase, and what will happen? See, if the tea and coffee are substitutes, we discussed it previously, again we will discuss it. Tea and coffee are substitutes. Price of tea increases. What you will do? You will not maza, you will switch to coffee, right? You will purchase more coffee. So the demand for tea will, more people will purchase coffee. So the demand for tea will decrease and the demand for coffee will increase. Got it? So the price, so demand not only depends on the price of the good, but depends on the price of substitute goods also. Price of complementary goods. See, car and petrol. What are complementary goods? No. See, a car cannot work unless we put petrol in it, right? So, if we don't put petrol, can we use that car? So, both of them are required. Both of them are dependent on each other. So, unless we purchase some a specific commodity, we cannot use that another commodity. See, petrol and car. So, if the prices of petrol increase, what will happen? She is saying right. See, what people will do is, in a normal behavior, what people will do, if the price of petrol increases, they will purchase, no, not cycle, they will tend to purchase, the demand for cars will, right. So they are inversely, and if the price of petrol is low, what they will do? Not more, but the demand will increase, mostly because it is cheaper, it is convenient, like it is feasible for them to purchase car, right? So we will discuss, so 3 things we discuss now. So what is the, firstly tell me what is demand? Quick. Demand is the desire plus the willingness to pay plus the purchasing power to purchase it. Purchasing power comes when you have money, income, wealth. What are the determinants of demand that we discussed? Price of the good. Like, so if the price of the good increases, the demand decreases. If the price of the good decreases, the demand increases. So price is deriving the demand. So it is said it is a determinant of demand, because if price changes, demand also changes. So it is said it is a determinant of demand. And what next thing we discussed? Price of substitute goods. like tea and coffee. So if the price of tea increases, its substitute is coffee. So what people will do? They will purchase more coffee. So the demand for tea will decrease and the demand for coffee will increase. So the second factor that we discussed, that is determines demand, is the price of substitute goods. Also it is determining, we discussed. Third one is the complementary, right? Price of complementary goods. So what it is? If the price of petrol rises, what happens? The demand for cars will decrease. So we will read these prices of complementary goods. The demand for a commodity also depends upon the price of complementary goods. For example, car and petrol. Here the demand for petrol depends upon the price of car. If the price of petrol rises, the demand for petrol will fall, following the law of demand. Logically, see, if the price of petrol increases, demand will decrease. For petrol, demand will decrease, then logically the cars demand also will decrease. Since the petrol is complementary to the car, people will reduce the demand of car also, right? So when the price of petrol rises, the demand for car will fall. The analysis indicates that the demand for a commodity DN and the price of its complement PC are inversely related. Here what we saw, we will discuss this. See, price of goods and demand are proportionately related or inversely related. What? See, if the price increases, the demand decreases. So it is inversely related. And for substitute, see, if the price of tea increases, demand for tea decreases. And the demand for coffee increases. So price of tea and demand of coffee are, price of tea increases and the, right. So prices of complementary goods. So what they have said is that complementary goods price and demand are inversely related. Income of the consumer. So if I have a huge income, what will be my demand? More demand. Logically, right? I'll purchase, I have more purchasing power and I will have more desires. So they are proportionately related, right? More income, more the demand. Are they inversely related? No. Logically, they are directly related. See, even if a person earns 50,000 rupees and another person he is earning 1 lakh rupees, will the demand for both of them be the same? No, because the lifestyle changes, the person's desires are different, right? When the income increases, the person's lifestyle standard of living increases. So the demand also increases because the products that he will purchase will be some another quality products, right? So that is a common logic. If a person has higher income, he will have higher demand, right? And they will be directly related. So income and demand are directly related to, demand is directly or proportionately related to income. The income of the consumer also influences the demand for a commodity. When the income rises, here they have given, when the income rises, people purchase the more quantity of goods. When the income falls, they purchase less quantity of goods. This happens when the good is normal. But there will be a reverse relation when the good is inferior. Inferior means what happens is that inferior type of goods are like the goods which are not related to the life standard of living or lifestyle, like a car. A car is a luxury good or it is not an inferior good. Inferior good can be like, see, barley or something like, what do we say, like barley, like that we have, it is a type of product that we consume, right? Guys, you are having attention? It is an inferior quality of product, like mostly people don't purchase it. And so when a person's income will increase for inferior good like a cereal like barley, will the demand for that again increase? No. So in case of inferior goods, even though if the person's income increases, the demand for that good, will it increase? No, because even though if my income increases to 1 lakh rupees, do I have that? That is not a barley. Will I increase the demand for barley? No. My demand will increase for luxury goods, different types of other goods, right? So, common logic is that if the person's income increases, the demand for goods increases. But in case of inferior goods, like a cereal which is barley, the demand will not increase. Because what addition will it? I will be consuming, before I was consuming, when my income was 50,000 rupees, I was consuming 2 kgs. Now my income is 1 lakh rupee. I will consume, I like it in that proportion only, right? I will consume 2 kgs only. Hello? You are muted.
Hello?
Hello?
I can't hear you.
Hello? Hello? So now it is audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we were discussing when the income of a person increases, the demand for the goods also increases. But there are exceptions. In case of inferior goods like barley, even though my income increases, the demand for that good will not increase. See, a simple example we'll take. So my income was 50,000. Now my income increased to 1 lakh rupees. Before I was consuming a cereal like barley with 2 kgs. But again, if my income increases to 1 lakh, will I consume it 4 kgs, 6 kgs, 10 kgs? No. There is no logic, right? I will be consuming it 2 kgs because it is bare minimum my need. And will I require it more? Will it increase my lifestyle, standard of living, anything? I liked it as a snacks. I just will consume it in the same way, right? So it is an inferior good. So the demand for it will not increase in the same proportion as my income increased. But for what other type of goods like luxury goods, that the demand for them will increase when my income increases in a large proportion, right? So this is very important here. So look on the board. When the income increases, demand also increases. They are directly proportional. But there is an exception. This does not happen in case of inferior goods. So in case of inferior goods, even when my income increases, the demand remains the same. Yes. So till now, what determinants, anyone can tell me what are the determinants of demand that we discussed? 4 determinants we discussed. Price will determine the demand, price of the good will determine the demand, price of substitute goods will determine the demand, price of complementary goods will determine the demand, the income of an individual or a person will determine how much the demand how much is the person's demand, right? Yes. Now we'll move on to taste and preferences of the customer. So everyone has a different taste, different preference, right? Every individual is different. Everyone's preferences are different. So if my income was previously I have an income of 50,000 rupees. And everyone has a different tendency, right? Someone save more, some person can save more, spend more. Some person will spend more, save less. Some person will spend less, save more, right? So everyone is different. Everyone's taste and preferences are different, right? So we can't say like if the income increases, the demand will also, for you both are there. If both of yours income, your was 50,000, your income was also 50,000. Now your income increased to 1 lakh, your income also increased to 1 lakh rupees. So will the demand of both of you will increase in the same proportion? Why? Because you both are different, right? Your both desires, your tastes, preferences are different, right? Everyone has a different tendency. Someone will consume more, save less. Someone will save more, consume less, right? And your preferences for every product will also be different. You like, suppose you like a certain product which is costly, but she doesn't like it. So her taste is different, preference is different. Your tastes and preferences are different. So we cannot generalize it, right? So they are saying that only. The taste and preferences of consumer can also determine the demand of the commodity. When the tastes are changed, the demand for goods are also changed, right? So before I was liking this Apple iPhone. Later on, I felt no, yeah, these features are not that good, or I'm not comfortable with it. So now, after 2-3 years, my taste and preference changed. I moved to Samsung phone. I felt that it is more comfortable to me. I am more convenient with it. So when the taste and preferences change, the demand also changes. So taste and preferences are also an important factor in determining the demand. Population. So will a country's population determine the demand, help in determining the demand? Yes, because if the India, we'll compare with India and some smaller country like, see, Canada. So the population of India is very huge. So when the population is huge, the desire, the demand, requirements, needs are also large, right? Yes. So when the requirements of the every individual increase, ultimately the demand will also increase. So when the nation has high population, the demand is also high. When it has a low population, the demand is also low. So it is here directly related or proportionately related to population. It is not inversely related. It is directly or proportionately related. Next is climate. How will climate determine the demand? Tell me. You will demand for an ice cream. You will not have a demand for raincoat. So climate also plays a very important factor in demand. So see, like there are some organizations which just produce in some specific seasonal advertisements also you can see, right? They are seasonal advertisements. Do they do advertisement on with their at a time when there is no demand? When there in winter or rainy season, do you see ice cream advertisements on TV? No, they know exactly what should be when and where to advertise and when there will be a demand, right? It is a common logic. So, and raincoats and umbrellas. So, the production is meant in such a way that they know that in the rainy season, the demand will be huge and they have an estimate, right? From the historical trends, they know that in the rainy season, the demand will be of suppose of 1 lakh raincoats. So they will produce that only, and they know that in other seasons like winter and winter and with season, summer season, the demand for raincoats will be negligible or very low compared to the demand in the rainy season. So the production will be made according to the seasonal trends only, and the people's demand will also be in that case only, right? So we have to align the companies have to make the production in case of demand, right? We discussed previously what are the three central problems. If there is a necessity, then only we will produce. Yeah, in seasonal trends like winter and summer, there is not a necessity. Is there a requirement need for raincoats? No. So we will not. That is the logic behind it. So the climate is also an important factor in determining the demand for a product or service. So in different climates like rainy season, winter season, summer season, the demand for most of the good varies. So we'll discuss now what are the determinants of demand. Chalo, we'll revise this. What are the determinants of demand? Price of the goods. If the price of the good, what are the determinants of price of the goods increases, the demand is less. If the price of the good is less, the demand is price of substitute goods. Tea and coffee. Suppose if the price of tea increases, the demand for coffee will, yes, and the demand for tea will, yes, and price of complementary goods, petrol and car. If the price of petrol increases, naturally what will happen? First you should think that if the price of petrol increases, the demand for petrol will decrease, and in turn the demand for car will also decrease. Income of an individual. If the income of the person increases, but in case of inferior goods, it does not apply. There is an exception. In case of inferior goods, even if the income of the person increases, the demand remains the same. It does not increase. Taste and preferences. Demand of an individual totally depends on the taste and the preferences of an individual, because every individual is different. Every individual has different tastes and preferences. Next is climate. So demand for commodities also depends on the climate or the seasonal trends. Like we saw, raincoat and umbrellas are more demanded in the rainy season rather than in the summer and winter season. And one thing we missed. What we missed? So naturally, if the nation has a huge population, demand is more. If the nation has low population, the demand is less in that nation. So we discussed what is demand, what are the determinants of demand. Now we'll move forward, right? You can see the screen. I should zoom it. Just a minute, I'll zoom. So, what is the next concept? Law of demand. So, if I purchase a commodity, if the price of the commodity increases, the demand for the commodity, so are they directly related or proportionately related? Inversely related. So what the law of demand says, that the price of the commodity and the demand for that commodity are inversely related. They are not proportionately or directly related. In case of determinants of demand, what we saw, in case of income and demand, they are proportionately related. If the income increases, the demand for the goods and services also increases. So they are directly or proportionately related. But the law of demand says that if the price of the commodity increases, the demand for the commodity will decrease. So they are inversely related. The law of demand is a general statement stating that the price and quantity demanded for a commodity are inversely related. So see here, there is a demand function. Demand function explains the functional relationship between price and quantity demanded. According to the law of demand, when all other things remain constant, if the price of good rises, its demand decreases. So it is inversely related. If the price of the good increases, the demand for the good will also what? No, increase. It is inversely related. Inversely means, proportionately means in the, we'll see. First see, what is proportionately or directly related? In the same direction. Proportionately related or directly related means that it moves in the same direction. So, price increases, demand, that is proportionally related. But it happens in case of income. We saw, right? When the income increases, the demand also increases. So, are they inversely related or proportionately related? Proportionately related. You all got it? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hello? आता चांगला येतोय? See, there are two relations. One is proportionately related, directly related, or inversely related. Proportionately related is that when the two, they move in the same direction, and inversely related is that they move in the opposite direction. So, example of proportionately related is what? When the income increases, demand increases, right? We saw this with an example. Suppose I have a salary of 50,000, my salary increases to 1 lakh rupees, my demand will also increase. Yes. So when the income increases, demand increases. So are they inversely related or proportionately related? Proportionately or directly related. But in case of demand and price, the price of the good increases, demand decreases. And when the price of the good falls, the demand increases. So are they proportionately related or inversely related? Inversely related. You got the concept of proportionately related and inversely related? Yes. So is the law of demand of price and price of a commodity and demand is inversely related or proportionately related? Inversely related, because they move in the, price and demand move in the opposite direction, right? So the demand function explains the functional relationship between the price and the quantity demanded. According to the law of demand, when all things remain constant, but this happens when all other things are constant. What are the all other things that are constant? We saw the other like the determinants of demand, right? So price and demand, what other factors that derive the demand we discussed now? Just now we discussed, right? Population, climate, taste and preferences, price of substitute goods, price of complementary goods. If these all other things remain constant that derive the demand, then the price of the commodity increases, the demand falls. That is saying by the law of demand. Got it? If the price of the good rises, then its demand is decreased. If the price falls, demand will be increased. It means there is an inverse relationship between price and change in the demand. Right? So what is this? This is the law of demand. See, that says demand for a commodity is a function of what has happened? Screen mirroring. Just a minute. Screen mirroring is on. Screen mirroring is on. It's hanged, I think. Now it's visible. Now it's visible. No, no. Now it's visible. Here I can see it, but it's not visible on the projector, right? Can you call anyone from there? Yeah, here it's visible, but why I can't see it on the projector? It's a issue here. Guys are getting the concept. Any doubts up till now? You guys getting? If you have any doubts, feel free to open up, right? It's not visible here on this projector. This is also hanged, I think. This is also hanged, it's not moving. Anyone is coming? Behind you, that girl. Her. Are you getting? Understanding? Any doubt? You're understanding the concept? I can't see you actually, so that's the issue. Can you sit here? Behind her, I can't see you actually. येतंय का कोणी? कारण ते दिसल्याशिवाय काही उपयोगच नाही ना, सगळ्यांकडे बुक्स नसतील आपल्याकडे ना. आहेत का? करायचं का मग कंटिन्यू? नाही पण मग मी हे इथे लिहिते ते दिसणारच नाही ना काहीच. आले. हँग झालेलंच आहे ते. इट्स हँग. प्रोजेक्टरवर नाही दिसत आहे. क्या लगा? क्लॅरिटी नाहीये त्याला अशी. आता हा, हॅलो. See, we were discussing the law of demand, right? So, one thing, will the price of the commodity, do the price of the commodity and the demand for the commodity should be of the same commodity or different commodity? If the price of brinjal increases, the demand for brinjals will increase, or some another commodity like potatoes, it will increase. Brinjal and potatoes are not substitute goods, not complementary goods. See, I'll repeat it once again. If the price of brinjal increases, the demand for brinjals will decrease, or the demand for potatoes will decrease. Brinjals only it will decrease, right? So what it is saying, here we are overlooking the fact that there are substitute goods and complementary goods. So what the law of demand says, the demand for a commodity is a function of the price of the same commodity. See, you can see here dx is equal to a function of px. That is, the demand and the price are of the same. You got it? They are of the same commodity, because x is the demand for a commodity, dx, and px is the price of the commodity. So the demand for a commodity is the function of price of the commodity. So what is determining demand? Is price. What is determining demand? Is demand determining price, or is price determining demand? You should be clear about it. Demand is a function of price. So price will determine demand, right? Demand will not determine price. So don't get confused here. It is very important to be clear that the price will determine demand. So the demand of x is a function of price of x, right? So the same commodity is price and the same commodity is demand, right? So what we saw now is the law of demand. If the price of a commodity increases, the demand for it decreases. If the price of the commodity decreases, the demand for it increases. So they are inversely related. The demand dx of a commodity is a function of the price of the commodity. So price will determine the demand, not demand will not determine the price of that commodity when everything is constant, right? Only price will not determine demand. We saw previously, right? There are other factors also which are determining the demand, like the population, the climate, price of substitute goods, price of complementary goods, taste and preferences, income, right? So these also determine demand. So if these all things remain constant, then only their price and demand are inversely related, right? So they have told this only. The demand function explains the functional relationship between demand for a commodity and determinants of the demand. This can be explained with the following equations. So see here, Dn is the demand of the commodity, F is the functional relationship, price of commodity, price of substitute, price of complement, income of the consumer, taste of the consumer. So these all factors determine demand. What we saw previously, right, with examples. Like what factors determine demand? The price of the commodity will determine the demand. Price of substitute goods will determine the demand. Price of complementary goods will determine the demand. Income of the commodity will determine the demand. The population, taste and preferences of the consumer will determine the demand. Income, taste and preferences, climate, and population. So these all determine the demand. But what the law of demand says, when these all factors remain constant other than price, when the price of the commodity increases, the demand for the commodity decreases. But it is important to remember that other factors are constant because they also determine the demand, right? We saw it. See here. So demand Dn. There it's not writing. Not able to write it. Okay, fine. हाँ, demand ये थी नहीं लिखता है तो what? Yes, idless लिखता है. Demand Dn of a commodity is a function of price of the commodity, price of substitute goods, price of complementary goods, income, taste and preferences, right? That is shown in this equation. These all things determine the demand. But when we take into consideration for just price, in the law of demand, all other things remain constant. Now we'll move to the demand schedule. There are two demand schedules, individual demand schedule and market demand schedule. What is a demand schedule? Like it shows, it is a tabular representation which shows how the price of the commodity affects the demand in case of an individual and in case of market. So see here, individual case we will look into. So if the price of the commodity is 5, normally the demand for that commodity was 10 units. And if it decreases to 4, the demand will increase normally if other factors remain constant. This is important, right? So it becomes 20. So again the price decreases, the demand increases to 30. Other factors remain constant. Again it becomes 2. It increases to 40. Again when the price becomes 1, demand becomes 50. We are plotting it on a graph. So what is it? First one is, see this, 5 and 10 we plotted. Then we plotted 4 and 20. You can see it on the projector. Then we plotted 3 and 30. Then we plotted 2 and 40. Then we plotted 1 and 50. And this is the graph that it comes into picture. Again for market. See, market is not an individual person's demand, individual demand will take into consideration, right? There will be the demand for 4, 5, many commodities together. Because it's a market. For individual demand, it will be only one commodity. But for market, there will be various commodities, right? So we have 3, 4 commodities here like A, B, C. See, so when the price of good X is 10, demand for A was 100, B was 150, C was 50. And the total market demand was, combine it, 300, right? When the price of a good becomes 8, the demand will naturally what will happen? Other things remaining constant. Price decreased here, other things remaining constant. What will happen to the prices of commodity? Increase. So if that is increased, it becomes 125, 260. And the overall demand will also, total demand has also increased. You can see it, right? So it has become 385. Again it decreased, again it increased. So it became 175, 250, 80, and again the total demand, price fall and the total demand increased. It became 505. Now it decreased to 4. Again it increased to 250, 300, 110, and the total demand increased to 660, right? Again it decreased to 2. It became, again it increased, it became 350, 400, 150, and the total became 900. It is the same pattern for an individual as well as for the market, what we observed, right? अरे नोटपॅड कुठे गेलं? हाँ. And when the individual demands are added up, what it becomes? Market demand. Like what we saw when the micro and macro, when we add every individual's micro demand, it will help in generating a macro national level demand. Similarly, in case of a demand schedule, when we add up every individual's demand schedule, it will help in generating a market demand schedule, right? And how is the curve, right? You can see what we saw in this individual demand, the curve is sloping downward again from left to right. And here also what we are seeing is that it is again in the market demand, it is moving from left to right. So the demand schedule moves downward from left to right. The individual demand curve or market demand curve slopes downward from left to right because there is an inverse relationship between price and demand. Why it is sloping downward from left to right is that there is an inverse relationship between price and demand, and in this case other factors will remain constant. So we will take some MCQs before moving to causes for falling of nature of demand. Will it be fine? Because more, I think it's 5 o'clock and the concept will again go over the head, because this is a very important concept. Next which we are moving forward is causes for falling nature of demand curve. Or we'll revise this once, whatever we have studied yet. Revise? Okay. You will tell me the answers, right? Economists regard decision making as important because why they regard economists as decision making important? The resources required to satisfy our unlimited wants and needs are finite or scarce. It is crucial to understand how we can best allocate our scarce resources to satisfy society's unlimited wants and needs. Resources have थांब मी लिहिते याच्यावर क्वेश्चन, बोर्डवर दिसेल तुम्हाला. क्वेश्चन लिहिते मी, तसं कळणारच नाही. See here, I'm writing it. एक थांब, आपण काय करूया, उद्यापासून घेऊयात MCQs. मी याचे फोटोज मला ह्याच्यावर टाकते, मग ते तुमच्याकडे मटेरियल असेल तर वाचता येईल आपल्याला व्यवस्थित. चालेल? हेच आपण रिवाइज करूया. आतापर्यंत जे झालं ना, पुढे जाण्याच्या आधी हे सगळं रिवाइज करूयात. चला. सो बॉयज, टेल मी व्हॉट इज डिमांड. what I didn't hear. Anyone can tell. And how the purchasing power will come? Money, income and wealth, right? Okay. What are the determinants of demand? Wait, don't move forward. Price. So price, if the price increases, demand will? So is it proportionately related or inversely related? Inversely related. Then next, what are substitute goods? Which can be used in, which can be used as other. So which substitute goods are the goods which can be used in place of another. That are substitute goods. Because you should know what are substitute goods, right? So what are the example of substitute good? Tea and coffee. If the price of tea increases, what will happen? Demand for coffee will. And what will happen for the demand for tea? Price of tea increases. The demand for coffee will. So price of tea and demand of coffee are. We are getting confused. See, complementary goods are inversely related and substitutes are directly or proportionately related. See, simple. Girls, look here. Price and demand are inversely related. Price of substitutes are, they are proportionately related. See, if the price of tea increases, the demand for coffee will increase. Price and demand we are comparing, right? So if the price of tea increases, the demand for coffee will increase. So they are proportionately related. And in case of complementary goods, are they proportionately related or inversely related? Inversely related. See, if the price of petrol increases, demand for petrol will decrease, and in turn the demand for car will also decrease. So when the price of petrol increases, the demand for car decrease. So price of petrol increase, demand for car decrease. So price and demand are inversely related. Income and demand. Income increases, demand also increases. Taste and preferences totally depend on that. If the population increases, will the demand increase or decrease? Increase. Climate. It totally depends on the seasonal trends and the climate. What is the law of demand? Price and demand of a commodity are inversely related. Other determinants of demand remaining constant. It is very important, this point, like other determinants are constant, because if the other determinants also vary, will that be? No. And if the income increases, demand increases. But what is the exception to this? Inferior goods like barley, the demand remains the same. It does not increase. In case of inferior goods, even though if the income increases, the demand will not increase. It will remain the same or constant, right? So we are clear on these concepts, guys. And individual demand schedule and market demand schedule. Individual demand schedule is a chart graph which shows the individual demand and the price of commodity, right? And when individual demand schedules are combined together, what will happen? It will create a market demand schedule. And how does this graph slope? Individual demand schedule and market demand schedule. Causes? Okay, fine. Take 5 minutes break. Come here, just 1 minute. फोटो टाकते का ग्रुपवर? काट ना, आपण उद्या घेऊयात हे सगळे. ग्रुपवर टाकून द्या. मी पाणी पिते तोपर्यंत. थोडं करूयात पण एकदम परफेक्ट कन्सेप्ट करूयात. कळतंय ना तुला? काय प्रॉब्लेम नाही? कळतंय ना? Come back at 5:20. नाही आपले सीएचे आहेत ना हे आहेत ते. आपण काही घेऊयात ना MCQs उद्या. पण हे कसं आहे की मी ओरली बोलायला आणि कळणार नाही ना ते MCQचे हे कळणार नाहीत ऑप्शन्स काय आहेत तेवढे ओरली बोलल्यावर ते सगळ्यांना ऐकू जात नाहीत किंवा क्लिअर कळत नाही. कुठला अप्रोप्रिएट आहे ते कळायला वेळ लागतो समोर असेल तर एक्झॅक्टली सांगता येतं. सगळे टाकून दे. हा आताच टाकून दे आपण घेऊयात एकत्र सगळेच टाकून दे ना सगळेच घेता येतील आपल्याला. एक्सेप्शन्स घ्यायला लागतील लॉ ऑफ डिमांड. जे आहे ते परफेक्ट आपलं डिटर्मिनंट सगळे क्लिअर इन्व्हर्सली रिलेटेड प्रपोर्शनेटली रिलेटेड ते लॉजिकली क्लिअर पाहिजे तुमचं. लॉ ऑफ डिमांड मध्ये बाकीचे प्राइस अँड डिमांड असताना कॉन्स्टंट असतात त्या गोष्टी बाकीच्या गोष्टी पण डिटरमाइन करतात ना. हलत का नाही ग इथे असं क्लिअर का नाही दिसत असं ते सरळ नाही दिसत आहे ना. टाकले ग्रुपवर सगळे टाकले ना आपले. उद्या घेऊयात हे आपण. हा नको टाकू ते बरोबर केलंस चालेल. मग हे लास्ट पेज नाही टाकलं का तू. हा चालेल गुड. या म्हणू आता त्यांना झालं असेल 5 मिनिट. बोलव सगळ्यांना, चला म्हणा. गर्ल्सला बोलवून आण ना, या म्हणा. आता झालं, बास झालं, घेऊयात आता, कंप्लीट होणार नाही नाहीत आपलं. बोलून आण सगळ्यांना प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज. बोला ना त्यांना. हा, गेलाय का? बोलून आण म्हणावं त्यांना. कॉल देम. त्यांना बोलूनच आण ना आता जात. आले का ते? आर दे कमिंग? You're able to understand, right? All the concepts, any doubts? Okay. If there are any doubts, you can ask. यार, कॉल द. वेळ झालेली आता, मला थोडंसं घ्यायचंय, एक्सेप्शन्स आपले कंप्लीट करायचे. बोलून आण ना त्यांना. कॉल देम. टेल देम दॅट मॅम इज कॉलिंग यू. एकदा सोडले की. कमिंग? हा, ओके. कसं चाललंय मग आता अभ्यास? कसं करताय का तुम्ही सगळे? काय काय चालू केलं वाचायला? इकॉनॉमिक्स का सगळंच, लॉ वगैरे? आण ना बोलवून त्यांना. कॉल. कसं चाललंय मग तुझं? चालू केलं? रीडिंग केलं काल घरी गेल्यावर इकॉनॉमिक्सचं? कळतंय? डाऊट्स नाही ना तुला? तुला काय कुठल्या टॉपिक मध्ये प्रॉब्लेम येतोय? कुठे जातोय? मी तर एकदम इकॉनॉमिक्स कुठला टॉपिक तुझं बीकॉम झालंय का 12th नंतर करतेस तू? ओके, तुझं लँग्वेज कुठलं आहे? मराठी, इंग्लिश? इंग्लिशच होतं ना? मग तुला तसं पाहिजे का? म्हणजे कळतंय का तुला? आता आता जे शिकवतीये मी ते क्लिअर होत आहे का? कन्सेप्ट क्लिअर होत आहेत का तेवढं सांग. मग तू ये ना इथे पुढे बस ना. मग मला कसं कळणार? तू मागेच बसते, मला काही कळत नाही. तू एक बोलत पण नाही काहीच. तुला विचारणार आहे आता मी पुढे. लक्ष दे बर का, उद्या क्वेश्चन्स विचारणार आहे. वाचून ये घरी जाऊ. चलो, आले सगळे? एव्हरीवन इज देअर? बोलणार ना, चला ना. We can start, guys. Hello, we can start. Everyone is there now? Okay. So what we saw previously is that law of demand. What it says, when the price of the commodity increases, the demand for that commodity decreases, right? Other things remaining, other determinants of demand remaining constant. But this law of demand does not become the same in every case. There are some exceptions. So when the price of the commodity increases, normally what law of demand says is that its price will decrease because it is inversely related, right? But in case of exception, what it happens, when the price increases, demand also increases. It gets proportionately related. There is an exception. And when the price of demand decreases, when the price of the commodity decreases, no, in exception, what will it will happen? Exception we are saying. See, I'll write it down. You're not getting. See, what we studied is that law of demand, right? When the price of the commodity increases, the demand for the commodity decreases. And when the price of the commodity decreases, the demand for the commodity increases. This is other factors remaining constant. This is what law of demand. Law of demand says price and demand are inversely proportional because they are moving in the opposite direction. But what exception says is that they are proportionately related. So in exceptions, what will happen? When the price will increase, demand will also. Now you got it? And when the price will decrease, demand will also decrease. So in case of law of demand, price and demand are inversely proportional. But in case of exceptions of demand, they are. You are getting? You both of you? काय? नाही, हे एक्सेप्शन आहे आपलं. हे काय आहे? एक्सेप्शन केसेस आहेत. नॉर्मल केस मध्ये काय होतं? नॉर्मल केस मध्ये आपण बघितलं आधी, जर प्राइस वाढली तर डिमांड कमी होतो आणि डिमांड कमी झाली तर प्राइस कमी झाली तर डिमांड वाढतो, बरोबर? पण ही नॉर्मल लॉ ऑफ डिमांड काय म्हणतं? ही नॉर्मल केस आहे. पण एक्सेप्शन मध्ये काय होतं? उलट होतं. जर प्राइस वाढली तर डिमांड पण वाढतं, प्राइस कमी झाली तर डिमांड पण कमी होतं. हे एक्सेप्शन आहे आपलं. ते एक्सेप्शन कधी होतं? व्हॉट आर द केसेस दॅट आर फॉर एक्सेप्शन? Necessary goods. See, when I have a necessary goods are what goods? Which is our necessity, right? Which is our necessity? Food. It is a necessity. Even if the price of see, even if the inflation increases or the price increases, it is a necessity. Food is a necessity. We cannot live without it. We will require it only, right? If the price of food materials which you are the food which you require and the raw material that you that is the kirana, तुम्ही किराणा घेता बरोबर, दुकानात जाता आणि किराणा घेता, पण मग त्या किराणा जो आहे दुकानदाराचा त्याचे भाव वाढले, म्हणजे शेंगदाणे काही असेल, तुम्हाला तेल लागतं जेवण बनवायला, गहू लागतात बरोबर, भाजीपाला लागतो, ह्या गोष्टींची जर भाव वाढले तर तुम्ही त्याचं डिमांड कमी कराल का? तुम्हाला तेवढं खायलाच लागेल की नाही, बरोबर की नाही? कळतंय ते? ती नेसेसिटी आहे तुमची, ती गरज आहे, बरोबर की नाही? It is a necessity, right? You have to purchase it, you have to consume it, right? So the demand will not decrease for it in such cases, right? But in case there is a Giffin's paradox. See, what it is observed by Giffin is that when even though the price of butter was low, bread similarly, it is a necessity. So even when the price of bread was low and the price of bread increased, what should in normal case law of demand, what should happen? But it did not happen because it is a necessity. Necessary goods we need to consume. Even if their price increases, their demand does not decrease. In like bread, butter, and what I told you is that like necessity goods, like whatever kirana you purchase from, whatever you purchase to prepare your food, right? Whatever it may be, oil, it may be it may be wheat, it may be rice, it may be anything that you require to consume as a food every day. If those prices increase of the raw materials, will your demand for that decrease? No. Because it is a necessity, you can't decrease the demand. You will require that much food and that much material, right? You can't say I'll eat less food. You have to consume that much, right? It is a necessity. So in case of necessary goods, what happens? Even if their price increases, the demand for them does not decrease. So that is the concept here in the Giffin's paradox. So we'll read this. Giffin's paradox, necessary goods. In the case of necessary goods, the law of demand cannot be operated. It is observed by British economist Sir Robert Giffin. He observed in London that low-paid workers purchase more bread when its price rises. That's why this situation is known as Giffin paradox. But instead of what happened is that when the price of bread increased, the workers started purchasing, or the demand for that bread increased. But in normal case, for law of demand, what should happen? The bread's demand should decrease. But it happened opposite. The demand for the bread increased. So it is an exception of law of demand. In case of necessary goods, this law of demand does not hold true. So it was observed in the Giffin's paradox that low-paid workers, even when the price of bread increased, the demand for bread did not increase. The demand actually increased. Got it? What the concept of necessary goods? Okay. So what is this? This is an exception to the law of demand in necessary goods. So what is in case of speculative goods? Speculative means, you know, like shares, or we make the prediction of shares, like in future the price of this share will increase. In future the price of gold will increase, right? So if there are speculations in the market, see, I am purchasing something at 100 rupees, and there is a speculation in the market that the price will become 200 after 2 months. What you will do? Will you? Even though the price of that good will increase after 2 months, what you will do is that you will purchase that good in large quantities in the present because the price will increase more in future. So what you will do is that the price will increase more in future, so I'll purchase more in the present so that I get more benefit. I get the good at a cheaper rate in more quantity, right? Yes. So that is the case of speculation. Sometimes the price of commodity might be increasing and it is expected to increase further. The consumers will buy more of the commodity at the higher price than they did at the lower price. It is contrary to the law of demand, right? We know the price is going to increase. What we should do? We should reduce the demand. But are we reduce? Is the demand getting reduced? No, the demand is increasing. So it is happening opposite to the law of demand, right? So this is an exception to the law of demand. So what in case of conspicuous goods? What are conspicuous goods, guys? Huh? Be loud now. I'm not able to hear you. Luxury good, like very good BMW car, Ferrari car. Okay, fine. Now we should not go more into that, right? So these are luxury goods. Why? Because you're showing it is a luxury good is a part of your standard of living. I have this car, BMW car. So that good will not add any value, but it is a part of standard of living. That will show my standard of living. So in case of these goods, if their prices increase, price of a BMW car increases, what you think is that it is more prestige to me, right? I'm having BMW car. So the demand will not decrease in case of luxury goods. The demand will increase because my standard of living is more increasing, right? My standard is increasing again. So I'll purchase more. So the law of demand does not come into effect in case of luxury goods or conspicuous goods, right? Okay. Shares of speculative market, like options, forwards, futures, shares, which is the speculative market. Everyone knows about it? Yes. So there are shares, there are options, there are futures, there are forwards, right, guys? So we speculate in future. The price of this share will increase, the price of that share will decrease, right? So I will give you an example. I have 100 shares and I buy those shares at 100 rupees. And in future, I think that the price of the share will become 200. So will the demand for that share decrease or increase? Because what I know now, the price is 100 rupees. And in future, the price is, I am speculating that the price will become 200. So if I now purchase these shares at 100 rupees, I'll get these shares at a cheaper rate. And in future, again, the price will become 200. So I will benefit from those shares, purchase of those shares, right? So even if the price is increasing, will the demand decrease for those shares? No. So in case of speculative market, shares, forwards, futures, options, even though the price increases, the demand does not fall. It again increases. So now we'll read this topic. We discussed about speculative market. We'll read it. Shares of speculative market. It is found that people buy shares of a company whose price is rising on the anticipation that the price will rise further. On the other hand, they buy less shares in case the prices are falling, as they expect a further fall in the price of shares. Here, the law of demand fails to apply. So what you got this concept clear, guys? In case of speculative market, in case of conspicuous goods, what happens? Conspicuous, that is luxury goods. In case of necessity, what happens? Necessary goods. Okay, now we'll discuss the Baglin effect. So what is the Baglin effect? Guys, see, in the corporate or in any environment where you live, or wherever you are, in a circle, peer group, any environment, in your company or with your friends in your peer group, you have something like, if I do this, this is like luxury goods, this is a privilege to me. So if I play golf, so is playing golf, if among your friends, a peer group, a privilege? Other than golf, we can say you have some people in your society, and your friends among that society are going to CBSE school, and the school is very renowned. And so what your parents will think, if I put my child in that school, that is a privilege to me. Privilege means privilege. I am having that, I have that shan, ban, what we say in Marathi, right? I am doing this, my child is that. That is the Baglin effect. So privilege. In corporate, if they are playing golf, they are having a privilege. Among your friends or among your society, if your parents feel that your child goes to a CBSE or a particular school, that is a privilege to them, right? So that is a privilege. So anything which is a privilege among the peer group or in the circle where you live, and if you do that, again it comes in the category of luxury goods type, right? Similar to that, it is related to the standard of living or the lifestyle of the person, right? So in these cases also, even if the price of that particular thing increases, the demand does not decrease. Even if that CBSE school increases the fees, will your parents think, most of the parents, what they will do, will they remove the child from that school? No. Their privilege will again increase. So in such cases also, the law of demand does not work, where in case of luxury goods and privileged goods, privileged things. And next we have the Veblen effect. What is the Veblen effect? Guys, see, I am a consumer, and what I think is that if the price of this, there are 2-3 commodities which I want to purchase of various brands. I have 3 commodities. We will look into the Veblen effect. See, Veblen effect, I want to purchase a particular mobile. And there are 3-4, there is a Samsung mobile, Nokia mobile, Apple mobile, Vivo mobile, okay? So, what I think is that what is the tendency of a consumer? If the price of the good is high, the quality or the features that it will have is also good. That is a normal tendency of every person, right? If I'm paying more price, the good will be quality good. It will have more features, more varieties, more comfort, more convenience, right? So what this tendency does is that it fails in the law of demand. It creates an exception to the law of demand. So if in such case, consumers think that if I pay more price, there is more quality, there is more comfort, there are more features in the good. So even if the price of that good increases, the demand for those goods will not fall. So that is the Veblen effect. We'll read this. Sometimes consumers develop a false idea that high priced goods will have better quality instead of low priced goods. If the price of such goods fall, they feel that the quality deteriorates and they do not buy, which is contrary to the law of demand. This is also known as Veblen effect. See, what people think is that if some goods are high priced, they will have that much quality. But what if the price of that commodity decreases? What they think is that quality will also decrease. What we discussed previously now, before with an example, right? I'm discussing it again. So the quality will again decrease. So if the quality, no one wants to compromise on the, most people don't want to compromise on the quality of the good, right? So in that circle, they think that the quality is decreasing, so they will not buy that commodity. So the law of demand will not hold true. So even if the price is falling, the demand will not increase, right? Price will fall. They think that the quality of the good is also not that good. It will deteriorate and they will not purchase it and the demand will not increase. So the law of demand will fail. So what are the scenarios? Everyone can tell me what are the scenarios that we discussed is that law of demand will not work true, hold true. Necessary goods. Don't remember the Giffen's paradox. In case of necessary goods, any necessity, even if their price of necessary goods, any goods which are necessity like oil, wheat, rice that we require and are necessary for an individual to survive, even if the prices of such goods increases, the demand for them will not fall. Right? Huh? In case of speculation goods, speculative things, even if the price is 100 now and we speculate that in future the price will increase to 200 rupees of oil, we will not, the demand will not decrease. The demand will increase. What we will do is we will purchase 3-4 liters of big can of oil and keep it in our home. And later what we will do? Later it is going to become 200. So what we'll think is that we'll save some money. You can tell what other. If the price of commodity is more, if it's a luxury good, auspicious goods or luxury goods, right? The standard of living for, if, see, in case of, okay, you can speak, okay, tell. काय म्हटलीस तू? काय? बोल ना. बस आता आपण डिस्कस करूयात. बस तुम्ही नका डिस्कस करू. So in case of what you are paying, auspicious goods or luxury goods, even if their price increases, we have a tendency like our standard of living will increase, right? Or that will increase. So what we do is that we don't decrease their demand, right? So the law of demand does not hold true. In case of privileged goods, what we discussed, right? Privileged. No, auspicious goods are luxury goods. Privileged goods. In what happens in case of privileged goods? Like in corporate, if people play golf, that is a sign of privilege. So even if the price increases, the demand will not decrease. So I gave an example of a privileged thing, like you are living in a society among your peers and there is a privilege like you will put your child in a particular school, that is a CBSE school or a particular school, it is a sign of privilege. So even if the price of the school increases, the fees of the students, will the demand decrease? No. Veblen effect, what we discussed, what is the tendency of the buyer? Like the tendency of the buyer is that if the price of the good falls, the quality will also deteriorate. So even if the price falls, they will not increase the demand. What they think is that the quality is low, it is inferior, deteriorating the quality, so we will not purchase it, right? And what we discussed in case of shares like, if I purchase 100 shares at 100 rupees today, and what I think is that in future the price will going of that share is going to become 200 rupees. So more shares, will you decrease the demand for shares? Will decrease? No. Is this fine for today? We will discuss the types of demand, because I think this is, after this is it is very important concept, guys. You need to look into it. So these concepts are clear now. So in case of necessary goods, auspicious goods, that is luxury goods, will determine the standard of living of the people. What more? In case of privileged goods, in case where the quality is important, right? What more? Shares and speculative market. So in these cases, the law of demand does not hold true. What happens is that price and demand are not inversely related, they get proportionately or directly related. I think this is fine for today. We will discuss this MCQs in the next lecture, and we will complete this theory of demand, supply and equilibrium in the next lecture, guys. Any doubts, any one of you, before leaving? Tell me, what is the issue? Any doubts, boys? Any doubts? Okay. Okay, fine. I'll write it down. हे सगळं वाचून या. उद्या आपण नेक्स्ट लेक्चर MCQs घेणार आहे. मी जे ग्रुपवर टाकलेत ना, ते MCQs आपण घेणार आहोत.